My guidance counselor called me out on this the other day, so now I'm calling you out. Hello, this is Celerity with 10-minute talks, where I record for 10 minutes and post whatever's usable. I was having a conversation with my guidance counselor, and the topic I brought to them was silly, I suppose. I was having a streak of maybe 4 or 5 days where I couldn't feel the surface level of my worries on my head. I'm a very anxious person, as you might be able to tell. I am the kind of person who thinks about what people think of me, of what I do. I overanalyze every aspect of my public life and even some of my private life because I'm worried about what's going to happen if somebody tries to spin it the wrong way. I am very, very conscientious about being seen authentically, or at least in the way I want to be, versus being misrepresented, right? But I had a stretch of 4 days where I didn't feel that at all, where I was very much in the moment, where I wasn't thinking so much as doing. It's almost like as though I didn't have the energy to think about all of these worries and anxieties. And it was a good feeling. It was good to feel briefly dumb for a bit, briefly unable to think for a bit. So I went to my guidance counselor, we had a conversation, and instead of going further with some coping mechanisms and crisis management, I wanted to ask, hi, I want to walk you through an experience of mine, a feeling of mine, and I want to know if this is all right to feel. And I described everything. I described how for a brief period of time, I didn't feel burdened by this hyper-curation, by this incredible focus on myself. And they told me, so what's the problem then? Which, I mean, goes to show how mental health care works and how, in a certain way, it should work. However you are, whatever you're doing, it is only an issue if it impacts your day-to-day life, if it stops you from being able to produce the ends that you would like to. You could have any number of juggling traits and features, but so long as you're able to live your life, then why work toward existing like anyone else? But that's not the point. They asked me, what's the problem? And I said, well, is it okay for me to feel like this? What if it's going to end? What's going to happen when I stop feeling like this and all of the frustrations and fears and anxieties start rushing back, which eventually they did? I asked, is it all right for me to? Is this a state of mania, a state of incredible heightenedness that is ultimately going to get me in trouble? What if in the state of unburdenedness, I end up doing something wrong? And I don't interrogate my feeling bad. I don't address or otherwise focus on the fact that I'm finally free, very briefly, but free of these thoughts that are pulling down on me. And instead, I'm interrogating the happiness. Why am I happy? Why am I allowed to be happy? And it's not even a self-worth thing. I've been steadily building up the right to be happy with myself, the right to enjoy myself and understand that people like me. Not everyone. Goodness, not everyone. But enough people like me that I leave a net positive in my immediate circle. But it's about the happiness itself. It's a suspicion of that. It's looking at the gift horse in the mouth. The way that my guidance counselor spoke to me, they said, it's like you're eating a fantastic meal, your favorite meal, or your favorite version of a meal. And as you're eating it, you're not able to enjoy it. You're not able to enjoy the meal. You're only thinking about what happens if it's going to end. Do I deserve to enjoy this thing? Is this meal something that I have the right to enjoy? Or there must be something wrong with this meal because it's so good to me, because it makes me feel so good. It's very easy for us to be suspicious of good. When we're suspicious of all things, especially bad, we are proven correct. It is a confirmation bias in that, oh, we were suspicious and we were correct. But sometimes a good moment is just a good moment. Sometimes a state of altered mindset, however that may be, really is a gift. The safety that you get from being hyper or suspicious is not worth the joy that you could have experienced then. Ever since the Paramedes video that I posted recently, I've been thinking a lot about loss prevention, risk prevention, or risk mitigation of how sensitive we are to losing things. But losing things is just part of the deal. It's part of existing. By virtue of living a meaningful and well-lived life, you're going to lose things that you've enjoyed. We can't let that real eventuality of our lives get in the way of us being able to enjoy it, even in small ways. It is effort. It is work to reframe your brain from where it already was, because this mindset might have saved us for a very long time. And changing habits is hard. I want you to have this script, these couple of mantras or phrases or self-directions, commands, so that next time you're interrogating your happiness, you can interrogate that feeling, interrogate the interrogation. You can actually enjoy it. So really, we want to be unmindful. We want to not think. We don't want to overanalyze. We want to not pause in the moment to interrogate the good feeling. We want to tell ourselves not to ask, when is this positive experience going to end? We want to tell ourselves not to think, what should I be doing right now instead? And we want to stop asking ourselves, do we deserve to feel happy in this moment? Is there something we're missing? Or otherwise, is this happiness going to negatively impact us in the future? Happiness is hard fought. I don't think happiness is the base floor of the human experience, just as I don't think sadness is. There is a war for moving neutrality towards one direction or another, and I prefer neutrality over sad. But if we can enjoy happiness, if we can savor it, we should. As best as we can, we should. Ding ding ding, 10 minutes.